Quasi here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the Neville Goddard style of visualization and really how to visualize to get effective results. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you 2 keys to really master visualization. So make sure you stick around till the end of the video, and let's get started. Before I begin this video, I wanted to quickly announce that I'm doing a free giveaway of my book, Life Mastery. If you want to enroll into a competition to win this book for completely free at the end of the week, make sure you comment Life Mastery down below, and we'll be picking one lucky winner to get this book for free in the ebook format. And also, I'm excited to announce that the free one-to-one consult with me for the Reality Mastery program is open, so make sure you wait till the end of the video for the announcement on that. And with that, let's get started with this video. So today I want to talk to you about this Neville Goddard style of visualization. And lately I've been reading a little bit of Neville Goddard's work, and it's extremely powerful. And it's really in line with all of the other works that I've studied, and this is much more ancient, right? So maybe this is more true, but who knows? Let's see. So visualization is a powerful way to influence your subconscious or unconscious mind. Now what you got to know is the mind is 5% conscious, 95% unconscious. It's kind of crazy to think about. So you only have 5% of your conscious mind. This is what people use to achieve all their goals. They use 5%. We're using 5% of our capabilities to achieve our goals. And 95% is consisted of the subconscious, the unconscious, and the collective unconscious. So now you might be wondering, what the hell is the collective unconscious, right? So collective unconscious, that's where you contain the power to actually move the world. So if you think about Avatar, the movie, if you've watched that, I don't know, but there is this concept where they connect their hairs together and the root, the mother tree. That's the collective unconscious that's connected to every single source. That's the source. It's connected to every single branch, the little green monsters and every single other creature in that land. So that's the collective unconscious. Collective unconscious here could refer to what is known as outer intention, the collective intention of all living, non-living material beings, that consciousness, that ultimate source consciousness. Okay, so that is the collective unconscious. So the goal with visualization is to influence this unconscious mind, to leave an imprint on this subconscious, this unconscious mind. When you do that, then you start to get that 95% on your team. That's what we want to do. Right now, it's not on your team. It's been influenced by other things, other experiences that you've had in your life, other things you've accepted, right? So it's not fully under your control. Maybe it's less than 5% under your control. Who knows? So the goal is to get to a point where we influence our unconscious mind so that it serves us rather than working against us. Most people have these 2 cells fighting against them, right? This is always going to be the case as you go to newer and newer levels. But we want to get to a point where we're fully striving forth and evolving more and more. And this is how you use the collective unconscious to do that, through visualization. So the way to the unconscious is through the conscious, unfortunately. So if you look at the conscious mind, it's at the very top, right? So there is the mind and the heart. This is from the transurfing space, right? So there is what's known as your mind and your heart. The heart is the collective unconscious. The mind is the 5%, the internal intention. And the heart is the external intention, the intention that's yours but not yours at the same time. It's connected to everything, right? So in understanding that, the only gateway it's got to pass is through the conscious mind. Whenever you try to do all of these, visualization, these affirmations, the reason they don't work effectively is because your conscious mind is resisting it. You're tensing up and you're resisting all of these ideas. So if you really look at that, most of the time, if you say an affirmation, there's always going to be a part of you that resists it, a part of you that won't accept it. And this is your conscious mind battling. It doesn't want to accept this new idea. So this is why subliminals work, right? Because you're programming yourself at a point where your conscious mind is at rest, and it's allowing these ideas in, and your unconscious being influenced. So with that being said, what's the most effective way to actually influence your unconscious? And remember, we talked about the mind and the heart. The goal is to activate what's known as outer intention. If you don't know what outer intention is, click up here. But in this transurfing space, reality transurfing, which is a quantum physics model of viewing reality and the events that occur in it, we have two types of intentions. There is our internal personal intention, that 5% that's conscious, the mind, and there is what's known as outer intention, the collective unconscious that's connected to every single thing, when the whole universe conspires to give you what you want. Right? When these two come in harmony, the mind and the heart come in harmony, that's when outer intention gets activated. And without that, there will be no activation of outer intention. So what visualization really does is it leaves an imprint on this unconscious. But this imprint is activated through that feeling. Hence why Neville said, feeling is the secret. And so if you get that feeling behind that visualization, it works powerfully. But if you miss that feeling, what happens is nothing happens, right? It just leaves an imprint, but the imprint doesn't get activated, okay? So it's kind of like this. People talk about taking action, and people then talk about emotion. When action and emotion come together, action is, let's say, the masculine, emotion is the feminine. When the masculine and feminine come together, that's when creation happens, right? So visualization leaves an imprint, the feeling activates this. So you got to make sure that when you visualize, you got to get the feeling behind it. But the biggest problem is that when people visualize, there is this resistance going on. The conscious mind resists it. So this imprint isn't even put in, right? So how do you overcome that? The question becomes, how do you overcome this resistance that the conscious mind does? And the real key to that is understanding timing, okay? The timing that you actually visualize. So when must you visualize? And the answer is when you're the most relaxed, when you're not tensed up, when you're not resisting something. You know, people, what they do is before a big exam, when they're all stressed out, they visualize. It doesn't work. Maybe it works against you, if anything. Right? So it's like, oh no, I'm stressed out. Just come on, come on. Is it working? Did it work? Did I get an A? So that's very ineffective because now you're at this tense state where your mind won't accept it. Try to convince someone when they're absolutely stressed out. It's like communicating with someone and you're in a distress and you're angrily trying to get some idea into someone else's head, as opposed to if they were relaxed and then you try to explain to them, right? Have you ever had an argument where you try to why don't you understand this? Don't you see that it's going to be like this, this, and this? When you force someone, they resist, right? So when you're at this calm state and you say, look, you could have done this work in this way, and that way. They're more likely to accept that idea then because you're not forcing them. There is no counterforce. That's what happens with the conscious mind. When you try to force these ideas within you, you're creating resistance. But when you're in a mode within yourself, when you're going to be naturally receptive to these ideas, then they will leave this imprint, right? So this is what you've got to understand. The timing is absolutely crucial for visualization. This is the single most thing that's changed my life. When are you visualizing? Are you relaxed when you're visualizing, or are you in expectation of something when you're visualizing? And this is where Neville Goddard's visualization secret comes in. So number one, and this is what I learned from that book, Feeling is the Secret, is that you got to visualize first thing in the morning or last thing before bed. Right? You can do it throughout the day if you're relaxed sufficiently. And people make a big event out of visualizing and they force themselves to visualize and see the scene. That doesn't work. If you force yourself, this is just going to act as a resistance and it's not going to work. If anything, it's going to work against you. So you've got to get to a point where you're visualizing yourself to sleep. This leaves an imprint on the subconscious mind because this is when your mind is the most relaxed. The conscious mind is the most relaxed. The gates open. So now you can influence these ideas that you would like to. Right? So at that very boundary of waking and sleeping, conscious and unconscious, that's when you want to get that idea in. So visualizing the ideal scene just as you're about to fall asleep becomes very, very effective. And I've started doing this for a couple months now, and I've seen that things have actually started to move very, very quickly. Or else I wouldn't be sharing this with you. I read the book a couple months ago. I wouldn't be sharing this with you if it doesn't work. So visualizing last thing before bed. And just as you're about to fall asleep, that's when you want to visualize and fall yourself to sleep. Maybe you'll even start dreaming of it. That's why we do the subliminals, so it aids us in visualizing that ideal scene as we fall asleep. So if you don't know how to do that, make sure you check out this video on how to make your own subliminals, get to a point where you're hearing your own voice, and this does a powerful thing to you. So visualize right as you're falling asleep and first thing in the morning when you're also relaxed, when you're loath to rise. That's how he describes it. When you're loath to rise, visualize. That rhymed. So just as you're about to wake up, just take a quick second, close your eyes. Don't use that as an excuse to snooze, but visualize that ideal scene. What would you like to see in your life? And get into the feeling state as well. And then go about your day. Now, the second thing is that most people, they visualize to manipulate a certain result. Okay? This becomes resistance once again. If you visualize to manipulate some result, get something in your life, becomes resistance. When you're visualizing in high pressure scenarios like, oh no, I have an exam, get a good result, come on. Oh no, before a big date, oh, I'm nervous, visualize. No, you got to get to a point where you get relaxed within yourself before you do that. If you got to a point where you were relaxed before an exam and you visualize, cool, that'd be perfect. But it's even better to do that way far in advance when the stress isn't at you and you're not clenching up and resisting. Right? So you want to get to a point where you only visualize to enjoy that ideal scene and experience it fully. This destroys that resistance, because now if you're visualizing not to manipulate a result but rather to enjoy that ideal scene, then you actually even get into the emotion, the feeling state more powerfully. Okay, so every time you visualize, don't make it a chore to visualize, but rather something that's fun. I'm seeing myself my ideal scenario. I'm dreaming of my life, how it's going to be. How I would like it. Once you create it here, it's just a matter of time before it shows up here. Right? So with that, I conclude this video. I sincerely hope this helped. Just to recap, why this works is because we're influencing the 95% of our mind, the unconscious. And within the unconscious, there's the collective unconscious that's connected to all life. Right? There's also what's known as outer intention, the intention that is yours but not yours at the same time. Most people use internal intention to pursue towards their goals. If they launch an attack against the world, like, I'm going to fight till I win, and they only get access to this 5%. As opposed to if you become one with the world, everything helps you create and puts it in place for you. And the way to the unconscious is through the conscious. But the problem with that is the conscious is always clenched up and the gates are closed. You want to open the gates and understand the importance of timing. Okay? So timing is understanding when are you at the most relaxed state so that you can visualize and so that the gates are open so you can enter these ideas into your unconscious. And the two keys we shared are visualize first thing in the morning when you're loath to rise. Visualize just as you're falling asleep right at that boundary. And two, visualize to enjoy and experience, not to manipulate a certain result. So with that, I conclude this video. I sincerely hope this helped. If you like this, make sure you leave me a comment letting me know what you thought, and also let me know what other kinds of videos you would like to see. If you like the visualization videos, want me to make more about them. I know there are a lot of questions in that area, so just let me know down below. I always read them, and I love engaging with you guys. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. And also, I'm super excited to announce the free one-to-one consult for the Reality Mastery Program is open. So if you were trying to book a spot before and we were fully booked, it's open now. Make sure you click on the link in the description below to check it out, and I hope I see you there. And if you didn't know what the Reality Mastery Program is it's essentially the most powerful paradigm of manifestation. And I've seen that in my personal life. Whenever I became the ideal version of myself, any area of my life was systematically manifestable. Okay? So when I became the attractive version of myself, I started getting attention from women and I attracted my dream partner. When I became the successful entrepreneur version of myself, I got to a point where I was able to quit my 9-to-5, take my passion full time, do something that I'm passionate about every single day, and contribute value to the world while earning an income from it. Right? When I shifted into the fit version of myself, I started to get the physique that I wanted and really transcended that skinny quasi-identity that I used to have. And where it was just a struggle for me to gain muscle and stick to my habits, and nothing really fell into place. All of these areas of my life were systematically manifestable. because of who I became, not what I did, not what technique I tried, or not even what I wanted, right? Not what I prayed for, but rather who I really became within. And I know this is possible for you as well, because we're helping our clients do this in their lives every single day. It's absolutely ridiculous the kind of results these clients are getting. And you're probably even seeing that in the YouTube posts. So make sure you sign up for the free one-to-one consult, and I hope I see you there. So just click on the link below to sign up. Also, I'm super excited to announce that our Facebook group is also filling up real fast. So make sure you click on the link in the description below. We're at around 4,000 members now. Make sure you click here to sign up for the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, a collective like-minded people, and grow together. So hope I see you there. Till next time. Peace.